What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. So I think a lot of people have investing kind of messed up, where they don't understand that just because you don't have a lot of money doesn't mean that ultimately you can't end up with a lot of money. And I know that people only see what they have. But if you have a better picture of exactly what you should be at for year one, year two, year five, year 10, year 20, year 30, right? Let's say you're investing at your 20s or you're investing in your 30s and you get to retirement age. That would be 30 years away, 40 years away. If you have that, how much do you need to invest in order to live comfortably for what you're doing? Do you need to be making $100,000 a year? Or do you need to be saving a certain amount of money? And that's kind of what I want to do here is I want to show you that just because, maybe you're an average worker and that's really all you want to do with your life, you don't want to, move on to having higher schooling or having, higher pay or a better title or better position or having your own employees or anything like that, right? You're comfortable in what you're doing. Just because you're comfortable doesn't mean that you can't make a better life for you after you decide to retire or even before, depending on how much you decide to invest. So I want to take you through that journey here to show you if you invested an average amount that a lot of people can afford, as long as you find a way to shift some things around, you can become a millionaire off of an average salary. Guys, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Patreon at Perry8K. You can follow me over there. And don't forget about some of the other links that are down there for my crypto platforms that I utilize or stock platforms that I utilize. But if you're familiar with my Matthew Perry 2 channel where I talk about my stocks and or when I'm in my live streams, I'll talk about stocks as well. I have my dividend portfolio. Now, my dividend portfolio stands at $50,000, and I'm slowly growing that up. I started with about $60, and now I'm up to $50,000. I was investing a lot of money. I contributed a boatload of money to this, so it's not necessarily supposed to be a full comparison to what you could be at or what you could start at or how it could grow that aggressively. This has only been maybe 6 months, if that. And again, I wanted to kind of display to you more of the percentage and what you should expect to gain, right? If you invested directly into the markets, right? So let's just take a standard position. Let's look at SPHD, which is a high dividend, low volatility, ETF. But not necessarily looking at the dividends, right? Looking at the overall growth of it. And with this, if I decided to invest into this, the average return would be about 9%. That's what the average return would be since 2012. So if we can see somewhere between, let's say, 7 to 9 to even 10%, we can see a massive amount in the end. Now, what could you physically start with? If you decided to invest right now and throw it into the markets, what could you physically start with? Would it be 1,000? Would it be 10,000? Would it be $100? $10? It doesn't matter what you start with. It only matters about what you contribute monthly, what you contribute annually, and what you would end up gaining out of this as you continue to hold on to that and how it would compound all together. So it's not about what you start with, it's just how you progress through it. Because if you can start to save a little bit more or put a little bit more towards it, you can get that much better of an outcome in the end. So if you're starting with $100, do you think that you have a chance to possibly make $100,000 from this investment that you have, or $1 million from this investment? Right? Do you feel like you can gather that much within maybe a 30-year time frame? Let's say you have a house, and you're like, you know what? I have a 2% mortgage, right? If you have 2% and you're 3% and you're lucky, you're one of the lucky ones like I am, who has a 3% mortgage, you don't necessarily have to make those payments there or make the extra interest payments. You could put that into the markets. For people that have a 6, 7, percent interest rate, you may have to go and make those extra payments or refinance as soon as it gets to a certain point where the interest rates do get low again. I think they're around 5% at the moment. So the point is, can you make a decent amount of money? So I want to go into an investment calculator, as simple as can be. I'll put this investment calculator down below if you guys want to explore this yourself. I highly recommend that you take your information, you take a lot of stuff that you have and your ideal situation and putting it into this investment calculator. So if we look at this investment calculator here, it's set up with $100 starting amount. Now that $100 starting amount over 30 years with a 6%, that's conservative, right? 6% rate of return, compounding annually, and you're going to add some additional contributions, right? Let's say you add an extra $100 every single month, $1,200 every single month. At the end of 30 years, you will have $1.175 million. 1.1, almost $1.2 million from starting with $100. Now, during that time period, you'll make an extra $432,000 worth of contributions. And you'll also have a total interest gain of $743,582. Now, just imagine if you decided to add a little bit more, right? $100 is doable for a lot of people every single month. We already pay that in subscriptions and all these other things. If you feel as though you're not benefiting from all of those different things like subscriptions or shoes or clothes or whatever, take some of that money, throw it into an investment account. Even if you already have something set up like a 401k, I still recommend that you put something aside for your own investment strategy to understand what's going on behind the scenes outside of the 401k. And now, when you get to a point where either that can roll over or you can invest it wherever you feel as though you would invest it, you can now put that money into this account as well and let that grow if you really wanted to, or you can roll it over into another 401k if you wanted to. But the point is, let's say you started with $100, it went over 30 years, but you said, you know what, I can put another $100, so it would be, instead of 1,200, it'll be 2,400, and now you're calculating it's going to be basically double. You're going to be looking at a 2.4 million dollars that's there that you now can be very, very happy with, because you're adding extra, you're gaining 6%. And if it is something like, let's say, SPHD that's gaining me about 9%, that's a whole nother situation. This is conservative. Remember, 9% you can gain there, calculated $4.1 million. You can become a millionaire or have millions of dollars at retirement or before retirement while working a regular job. Don't think that you have to make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars in order to be a millionaire. You can do this. There are plumbers, there are plumbers that make a lot of money, but there are plumbers, there are people that pick up trash on the side of highways that make a lot of money because they know what they're doing with their money. This is a standard practice. It doesn't mean this has to be the only practice, but this is a standard practice for you to set yourself up in the end in a great situation. And the only thing that you want to make sure that you do is never take from it. Is always leave it in there, never take from it. That's one of the issues that I do see with 401ks. That's what I see with retirement plans, is that people end up taking from it because they know the money's there. It burns a hole in their pocket, right? I would just say you have something where you just set it and forget it and continue to add that in there if it's possible. You can also do it with, let's say, if you wanted to contribute half the amount, instead of 1,200, you're adding 600. You only have $50 to invest every single month. You're still looking at a good, with 9%, you're still looking at $1 million. If it is conservative and it's 6%, you're looking at a decent amount as well, which is $588,000. That's still a lot. And then you can decide to change things if you feel as though you can afford a little bit more. The point is that set yourself up for success by having a long-term process in order to give you that retirement or give you that comfortability during that time. Guys, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. I'm going to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.